Let me show you how to create a Google form using ChatGPT. So follow me to my desktop right now. What's up everyone, this is Jotform, but on this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Google form using ChatGPT. Now, it's not a direct integration, but there's a workaround that's going to help you build the form inside of ChatGPT. So let's get started. Let's jump over to ChatGPT, and what you have to ask is what you wanted to build for the form. In this case, I'm going to use this prompt right here, and it's a prompt to create a Google form for an employee feedback survey. Okay, so let's go ahead and kick this off, and I'm going to send it off right here in ChatGPT, and it's going to understand what I need, and it's going to give me an idea of what I'm going to use for the form. Now, in this case, I have installed a Jotform system, but I'm not going to use this right now. So don't use Jotform. Okay, so now it's going to create the form for me. Okay, here we go. And we got the title, description, the questions for this type of specific form that I'm asking for. In this case, for example, the overall, how satisfied were you with your town hall? How clear was the information presented? Which topic did you find most relevant? And it's a good form for a starting basis. Now, I don't have to stick with this. I can tell ChatGPT to improve this or make this better than what it already provided, depending on my use case. Maybe I have to change question number 5, or maybe just 8 questions doesn't cut it for me. Let's make this 10 questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask it right now. Make it a 10 question survey. So that's what I'm asking. So it's going to improve it even more. So here we go. We got the first 7, 8, 9, and 10 questions built for us. Okay, so now how are we going to implement this inside of Google Forms to create that form using ChatGPT? Well, that's going to be super easy. Let's go into Google Forms. Let's click on a blank form. And inside of here, I'm going to get started by clicking on the options button right here. So let's go ahead and click here, and I'm going to click on app script. Let's go ahead and open this up. And in order for this to work with ChatGPT, we need to ask ChatGPT to create a script for us based on that form that we've just built. So let's go ahead and do so right now. So I'm going to tell it I need the code for apps script to use inside Google Forms. Here we go. Let's go ahead and send this off. Now, ChatGPT is going to understand that it needs to turn that survey that it just created and turn it into a script that I can use. And it's doing it right now. Here's the JavaScript that it's creating. It is now done. Let's go ahead and copy this and jump over to Google Form. Okay, so let's go into our app script that we just opened. Let's clean this up. Here we go. And let's paste in the code that we just wrapped in ChatGPT. So let's go ahead and paste this. Let's go ahead and save the project. And now we have the option to run this script right now. Be aware that if you don't save it, you don't have the option to run. So let's go ahead and run this right now. Here we go. Let's go ahead and allow the permissions. Here we go. Let's go ahead and continue. It's now running and executing. Here we go. The execution is now complete. We now have the Google form created. So let's go into Google Forms right now. Let's go ahead and refresh this in Google Forms. And it's right here, employee feedback survey form for the town hall meeting. And here we go. We now have the form created with ChatGPT. So it helps us use the creativity of ChatGPT to generate the form and then paste in the code to generate the form over here on Google Sheets. I know it's not the smoothest way to create a Google form using ChatGPT, but it's a workaround to use right now. They don't have a direct integration yet, but this is a workaround to start creating forms using ChatGPT here on Google Forms. Now, things that you do have to consider is that back and forth with the generated in ChatGPT, creating the code, pasting the code over here on app script, which could be a drawback. And another thing that you have to consider is that sometimes if the code, and if it's way too long, you might get an exceeded script error. So do consider those issues when you are creating a form here on Google Forms using ChatGPT. Now, another option is creating a form using ChatGPT, but with a native integration with a Jotform. This way, there is no back and forth. You can go ahead and create the form straight from here. To do that, we first need to go to apps, and we need to integrate Jotform with ChatGPT. So go ahead and search for Jotform right here in the apps. Once you do so, it's going to pop up right here. Go ahead and select it and go ahead and integrate. In my case, I've integrated already, so I can go ahead and start chatting with it and creating a form right here on ChatGPT. Now be aware that you can go ahead and start the chat straight from the apps over here, or you can just go ahead and chat with it and tell it to create the form for us. So let's go ahead and chat with it and ask it to build a form for us using Jotform. So let's go ahead and kick this off. And I'm telling it to create a form for us, again, for an employee feedback survey about the latest town hall meeting. All right. So here we go. It's generated for me, but I'm going to tell it to do it in Jotform. So let's go ahead and do so right now. Do it in Jotform. Here we go. It's preparing the app tools for us. You can see right here. And it's kicking this off. So right now, we're going to go ahead and create the form. And here we go. So it understands that I want this idea that it just generated for me here on ChatGPT, but go ahead and build it inside of Jotform. And it's doing it for me right here inside of ChatGPT. Here we go. We got the first question, the second one. And I love that it even understands what type of question I want. For example, if it's going to be a simple message, is it going to be a multiple choice? Is it going to be a one choice, etc.? All right. Now, right now, the form is now built. I can go ahead and open this up to view it here in a clear view. Here we go. I can continue chatting with ChatGPT to improve this form, or I can go ahead and share the form just as it is. For example, let's go ahead and share this right now, and I'll be able to view the form right now. For example, I can go ahead and share this form right now, and it's going to take me to the share options here on Jotform. I have the options to share the link, create a QR code, send it by an email, create an AI agent, create an application. I can embed this. I can use multiple third-party platforms to embed the form on the website, and so many options available right here. Now that is for sharing. I can go ahead and jump into edit in Jotform. I want it to take me to Jotform to continue the editing options here. So I can go ahead and select any of the elements and start editing the form as I would normally here on Jotform. But again, let's go ahead and test this out. Right now, it generated for us 10 questions. How about we make this 15 questions? So let's go ahead and tell it right now. Here we go. Let's go ahead and send this off right here in ChatGPT, and it's going to improve the form that we just created. Yes, I do want it to edit the form that we are working on. So again, right now it's 10 questions and it's going to turn it into 15 questions because that's what I asked right here. Maybe I want to change the subject. Well, that is possible too right here. Just go ahead and tell it, you know what, instead of being the town hall survey form, maybe it's about a school form. Just go ahead and do so right here. Let's go ahead and edit this form right now and see the 15 questions that it created for us. And here we go. We have all the available questions, and I can go ahead and continue editing right here on Jotform, or just go ahead and keep chatting with it on ChatGPT. So it's super easy to create a form here using ChatGPT and Jotform because it's a direct integration. But if you want to create your Google form on ChatGPT, go ahead and use it just the way I showed you right here using the app script option. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that's a wrap.